Happy New Year, everyone. Hello, this is the first Wellness Wednesday of this year, and I am Dr. Manjiri Nadkarni, Ayurvedic MD, registered holistic nutritionist. Super excited for today. Today, we are going to talk about 5 ways to stick with your health goals. And this is for you if you are someone who has really struggled with setting New Year resolutions and really following them. You don't have to worry about it because that's exactly what I'm here for. I am going to support you. I'm going to support your goals where we are going to thrive together by stick to our health goals and make sure we make 2025 the healthiest year ever, right? So for those that are new, we host Wellness Wednesday sessions every Wednesday at 7 p.m. So, this is the change timing for this year. We are going to host it at 7 p.m. and we are going to talk about different health related topics. My goal is to teach you about Ayurveda integrated with modern holistic nutrition, which you can implement in your day to day life and you can thrive in your life. So, that's my goal. So let's get started. So today I'll talk about 5 practical tips. The number one reason why over 40% people fail within 6 months to stick to their New Year resolutions is that they're not setting specific goals. They're not setting smart goals. Smart goals are specific, they're measurable, they're actionable, they're relevant to what your goal is, and they are time bound as well, right? So it's not about saying that, oh, I want to lose weight this year. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you achieve any kind of goal. You will see that if you don't set specific goals, if you don't set relevant goals, if you don't set actionable goals, you are not going to thrive in the new year. And this is the number one reason why only 8% people are able to keep their resolutions till the end of the year, right? So, how to set these smart goals? Smart goals are specific. So, what exactly are you going to do to lose weight? For example, are you going to exercise? Are you going to walk, right? Be specific at what time are you going to do it? Are you going to do it on a daily basis? Are you going to do it 3 to 5 times a week, right? What How are you going to measure it? Is it a time that you are going to measure? Is it a certain step count that you're going to measure, right? So you have to be able to measure something. So it's a measurable goal, right? It has to be action oriented and it has to be time bound. Still, when am I going to do it? For how long am I going to do it, right? So this is going to be extremely important for you to be able to do this in a time bound manner. So it's okay, this month I'm going to do 5 days a week, 30 minutes every single day on my treadmill, right? That's an example. So choose smart goals. If it's about nutrition, you can talk about, I'm going to have at least 5 servings of vegetable every meal. Not every meal, maybe, if you don't like mixing too many veggies. I absolutely love making stir fry, so I tend to have more than 5 servings of vegetables at a time. But you could try to aim for at least 5 servings of vegetables every day. You can talk about your hydration, right? So first thing is, identify the specific areas where you are really struggling. Is it nutrition related? Is it activity related? Is it sleep related? Is it stress related? What exactly are you going to do? So that's the number one thing, to identify and to set smart goals in relevance to that, right? So that's, we measure it, but we also look for the relevance. The relevance is super important because if you are used to having your activity levels, and you could be over exercising but not focusing on nutrition, and that's not going to help you, right? So there is a saying that you cannot out cardio poor eating habits. So try to first set relevant goals in the specific area, measure those goals and make those time bound. So that's the number one thing, right? The second thing I want to talk about is building a routine. As Ayurvedic doctor, I am super passionate about routines, and routines are extremely important in today's world where you are naturally leaning towards vata aggravation or wind aggravation or vata derangement, where your wind factor gets deranged because you are not following any routines, right? And in Ayurveda, we talk about this vata dosh or wind factor as the one that's controlling your entire body. So whether we talk about your neurology, your brain chemistry, whether we are talking about your gut health, whether we are talking about your circulation, whether we are talking about your hormones like thyroid, whether we're talking about your skin function. So everything is related to managing vata dosh, and that is why in Ayurveda we talk about vata being the king of doshas, that has to be conquered at all times, that has to be balanced at all times. And the biggest thing you can do to balance your vata is establish routines, right? So daily routines are extremely important from an Ayurvedic perspective. You have to match your routine to the circadian rhythm, right? So when the sun is up, you have to be up. You have to sleep when the sun is down. You cannot stay past midnight. So building a routine is extremely important, and building a routine that's supporting your goals is extremely important. This year, one of the most important things for me is not just movement in my body, but that also is something that's helping me with my mental health, right? The more I move my body, I can shift that nervous energy, and being a kapha movement is something that's extremely important for me. And when my mind is chattering very much, I will translate that into writing. So right, dumping down everything that's happening in my day. I call it morning pages. So every morning when I wake up, I'll do a journal, and I'll just tear and throw away those pages called morning pages. And that's really helping me channelize the movement from the mind if my mind is getting overactive, right? Physically, I'm making sure that I'm incorporating exercise, working out, or walks into my routine. So every single day for 5 days a week, I will wake up and I will exercise in the morning at least for 30 minutes. And I need to do a form of active dynamic exercising for my kapha body. If you are a vata type of a personality, you can do yoga, you can do some kind of a soothing gentle exercise, you can go for a walk. And if you're a pitta, you can also do kind of moderate exercising, something that you can build into your routine on a daily basis. So whether we talk about sleep, maintaining a sleep routine is important as well, right? So choosing the area where you have to build a routine, and start with incorporating three simple things, whether it's, oh, I have to get in bed. Now I'm not going to go on my phone for at least 2 hours before bedtime. That could be a really good routine. A foot massage with sesame oil is a fantastic routine to support your sleep, right? And you could also drink some warm almond milk or milk. You could add some ashwagandha to it for also managing your cortisol. That is another part of my bedtime routine, right? So an hour before bedtime, I'll have some non-dairy milk with a little bit of ashwagandha that also supports my cortisol. So I tend to do these things on a daily basis. So that is my routine. So whatever goal you are working on, build a routine in accordance with your goal and try to establish routines. Try to really eat at the specific time, sleep at the specific time. The routine is going to be super important in helping you stick to your health goal for the entire year, right? Now, number third is something that I talk about all the time to my clients, right? That you have to focus on your progress and not focus on perfection. Perfection is a big trap, right? And this is especially if you are a pitta dominant person, if you are an A type personality, you are used to finding perfection in everything and pushing yourself towards perfection, which is not going to support you in the long term, right? So it's better done than perfect, right? So I heard in one of the podcasts, I heard about a word called get more, right? Good enough to move on, right? So you do it good enough to move on to the next task without getting stuck on it, right? And what I mean is, for example, life happens. If you have built a routine and maybe you get the cold or flu, or if there's a life event that happens and you cannot stick to that for a day, do not really beat yourself because I couldn't exercise today because I was in bed all day, I was not feeling well. Rather, just celebrate the fact that you were able to take better care of yourself, you were able to give yourself what you needed at the time. Focus on how far you have come rather than guilt tripping yourself, rather than focusing on perfection. Focus on progress. Extremely important, right? Fourth is to stay accountable, right? So accountability is a huge challenge for most people, especially if you are a vata dominant personality. Then you tend to get lost in too many things. If you are a kapha dominant personality, you tend to procrastinate, and you tend to be a little bit of, slower at really reaching your goals or doing it on yourself. You're somebody who needs a little bit of kickstart. So getting accountability is extremely important. I am opening up a few spots to work with me. So if you are interested in booking a 15-minute free consultation, you can message me either on Instagram or Facebook, uh, or you can also email me. We can set up some time and we can talk about how to really identify the specific areas of your health, build a healthy dietary lifestyle routine for you. And working one on one with me is also going to support you with accountability if you are someone who's not likely to do things on their own, right? So this is important to know. So accountability, if with a practitioner, think tends to be the most highest level of accountability, because you're investing your time, you're investing your energy, you're investing your money, and you're also working with a professional where you're getting specific advice that's pertaining to your health. It's completely personalized advice that you're getting for your health. So um, that's tip number 4, is make sure you're accountable. And tip number 5 is to be able to um, adapt and adjust, right? So you don't have to really um, do the thing that you decided on the 1st of Jan, that, oh, I'm going to do this exactly the same way that I decided to do. You don't have to do it. So if you find yourself not enjoying, you decided that you wanted to maybe start a specific kind of an exercise, and if you find yourself that that is not something you enjoy, right, or that is not something that you are likely to stick to, maybe it's too intense for you at your level, maybe you are feeling exhausted after the exercise. Jan 1st is when everybody will join gyms, they'll join boot camps, but exercise is supposed to make you feel fantastic. It's not supposed to deplete you. And if you find that you are getting exhausted after exercise, if you find yourself getting depleted after an exercise session, probably you are exercising a bit more than your body can handle, right? This often happens when you are in the burnout stage, or if your stress glands, adrenal glands are off balance. So if you find this, you have to adapt and you have to adjust, right? Just because you decided to do something, Jan 1st, you don't have to constantly do that. You have to tweak to better your health, to make sure whatever you have decided is really working for you, rather than just because you put it on a piece of paper. So this is extremely important to know. And this is something that I see in my clinical practice all the time. I have women coming to me all the time that, hey, I'm working out 5 days a week, I'm feeling exhausted, I'm giving it my everything, and I'm still not losing any weight, and I'm getting exhausted. I don't feel any energy either, right? So, this is a classical sign of burnout. This is a classical sign where you could be, in fact, losing muscle mass or losing fat. And this is why you need to adjust if you find things are not working for you, right? So these are some simple things that we have talked about: adapting, adjusting, or setting specific goals, really measuring everything, really being kind, being patient to yourself. So these are super important things to be able to incorporate in your 2025. I'm wishing you all a super healthy, happy 2025. If you need some support with your health, if you have fallen into poor eating habits, or not exercising, or poor lifestyle choices as well, that often happens with as a result of stress, feel free to reach out and I'll be more than happy to support your journey. If you have any questions for me, you can also let me know. This entire session, we are talking about New Year, New Me. So that's the theme for the Wellness Wednesdays. Um, so if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can watch all the videos there, or you can just hang out with me on Instagram or Facebook. But make sure you set yourself as your priority for 2025. You really prioritize your health this year and look at your health from all different aspects, whether it's physical health, emotional health, mental health, spiritual health, and really try to make the most of what you have. Get started, make the most you have, be the healthiest this year. So I'll see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. with another topic on Wellness Wednesday. If you have any requests for me to make specific videos, please post them in the comment section and I'll be back to answer. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.